SPM Sports KE.
Not the result we all hoped for at the end of 90 minutes. What didn't work out for the team today?
Good evening. Yeah, good evening. Good evening all. Yeah, no, of course, listen, learning experience for our boys today. Not what we expected, not what we wanted. But I think we never dropped our heads after you go 3-0 down in the first half. We kept fighting, we kept playing, but at this level, when you play and you make the mistakes that you make, that we did, you get punished. And when you have a Gambia squad where every outfield player and the bench that they have plays in Europe, that shows the level, the quality that they have. And we will have to learn if we want to find ourselves or see ourselves on that level, that at this stage, when you make the mistakes that we did, first goal, instead of trying to dribble out the back, you lose the ball and then they get a corner, and from the corner, people just not picking up their man and allowing players to get free headers inside the box. Yeah, of course, the players that they have, they play in Europe, so they know about the levels here. So when you get the opportunities that they got, they take them. And for us, yeah, you go 1-0 down, and then again trying to play through the lines, and then just where the simple pass was to play outside and they intercept, and boom, you get yourself again 1 against 1. And Mente, he plays in the best league in the world, and yeah, you leave him 1 against 1. There's only one outcome going to be, and then 2-0 down, and then 3-0 down. Then it becomes really an uphill battle. But I think second half we made the changes. We brought in Alpha and Mansour because of the relationship that they had playing in the Chan. And I think they brought us a little bit more energy and more fight. And I think that's what people want to see. When you put on the national team jersey, people want to see fight. People want to see passion. And I think first half we kind of lacked a little bit of that. And then second half there was more energy to it, and we could have gotten probably more than one today, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. So yeah, but I'm pleased for the boys that made the step up to international level, and see how physical and how fast and how quick the game is, and how you make one mistake, you get punished for it. So yeah, and I know from here onwards it's a learning curve, but it's a learning curve in the right direction.
Thank you, Coach. So we'll open up questions. Mike?
Bandi, I watched him a couple of times before I joined when he was in Scotland, and then he went on loan to Virginia in Serbia. So he's played there, and then obviously pre-season he's done with his club, which I know it's very physical. Yeah, and I saw the news now that he got released, or he fought to get out of the situation that he was in, that the manager wasn't going to count on him. So yeah, so listen, it was a gamble. It was a gamble from my part, but it's a player that I know the quality, the experience that he brings. He plays in Europe, and you saw the difference between the two squads. Their squad, everyone playing in Europe, and our squad having half that's local and half that's international, and there's just slightly a little bit of difference in quality between the two. So I thought, yeah, Richard would give us a little bit of that powerhouse that we kind of desperately need to compete at this level. And yeah, it just didn't work today. Him and Timothy Uma, think, overcomplicated a little bit in the midfield, and yeah, just made some errors, and we paid the price as a team, but not regretting my decision at all. It goes disallowed, and you're not given any explanation. You just have to accept and move on. happened in Chan, and it happened today as well. I thought it was clear-cut goals, but the referee and the assistant referee, the linesman, they saw different incidents, and they disallowed the goal. So yeah, you have to just continue to play on if things don't go the way you want them to, and if it goes against you. But yeah, listen, I'm proud of the team, for the performance, the resilience. They put up a fight, and we just came up short against a team that, when you give them an opportunity, they stick it away.
Zani?
Of course, because, like I said, our chances of qualifying for the World Cup was pretty slim, but you don't want to go out in the fashion that we did today. When you first half, the game is kind of finished already. So I compliment the players for the effort, and for coming out second half, and putting up a fight, and taking the game to Gambia, because yeah, we were the better side second half, but unfortunately we didn't put the chances away that they had in the first half, in the second half, to kind of get closer, or close the gap in the scoreline. But yeah, and I think, yeah, like I said, the two players that came in the second half, they brought energy. They took the fight to Gambia, which for me, going forward, is great, because you can see now the players that played in the Chan, what confidence did to them, us going out there, and then you play the local players, and the level is just going up. So a lot positive to take from that, and yeah, and having to assess the game again, and then see what changes can we bring for the next match on Tuesday against Seychelles, and hopefully it will be positive like the second half was for us. So uh, can you repeat? Sorry about that. Um, I I I thought we started the brighter. You know, we we had the most possession. We had two corners or three corners where we could have gotten some joy from. So I think the team was very positive. So there was no need for me to really um, change so early, because it's also not fair on the players who were struggling a little bit, and then you leave it till halftime, and then you see maybe um, if we last till halftime, and then you change things around, and you look for a bit more energy and more quality from the players that we have on the bench, and then yeah, like I said, three mistakes, and three costly mistakes. But other than that, I thought we were okay. We weren't too bad. We could have been not 3-0 down if we had just not leave players free in the marking, because yeah, players held their hand up in halftime and said they thought someone else was taking this player, even though on the boards and the screen the markers is that's your player, but I pass him on to someone else, and then you get punished. So childish defending from outside a little bit, that cost us the first goal, and then the second goal, like I said, yeah, one pass, uh, trying to play forward, and the ball got intercepted, and it felt for them and played through. So 50-50 between Minte and the goalkeeper, which is almost like the flash, lightning quick. So the goalkeeper has hardly got a chance, and then you go 2-0 down, and then it becomes really difficult. Now you're pushing people forward to try and get that goal to settle things down, and then yeah, when the halftime came, then I thought it was only right to make the substitute, but by then you're already 3-0 down. So to select a really good and strong Harambee Stars 11, but yeah, it all depends on the player's ability, and what we see in trainings every day, because Player could maybe play well for his team. When he comes here, he doesn't want to train. He thinks he's too good for the national team, and then you still put that player in the starting 11, even though he plays well for his team, but in the national team he just doesn't do it. So yeah, those are things that coaches, technical team, benches have to discuss, and you have to analyze and say, and you have to do what's right for the team, what's right for everybody. So, but yeah, I think we could have a really strong 11, and then you stick with it. I don't like to change, but I have to change because I'm forced to. Chan, African continent, World Cup qualifiers, international level. So now you're dealing with players who plays in Serie A, in Premier League, in La Liga, and that. And I think I don't need to tell you, Chan level, Kenyan, no disrespect to anybody, but Kenyan First League compared to Premier League and La Liga, Bundesliga is two different worlds, my friend. It's two different worlds, so you can't expect me to play Chan team, which I would have loved to, but I'm also realistic. You want me to lose 5-10-0, then I have to answer, and then people say, Benny, out, because people like you want me to take a risk and play Chan players. Come on, man. This is international level. And you saw the shortcomings we had with players that we have in the national team playing at international level. This is no game. There's no in the playground there. This is top level. But you take the opportunity to build players up for the future, because if you look at our team today, Mansour came in, Alpha, Sylvester got an opportunity, Bain Omondi, the goalkeeper, got to play. So yeah, you mold them, and I think we're building for a Kenyan team that can compete at international level, but when we play at local level, we have the quality to do that. So that's why you have European players that plays there, so you kind of integrate the two together, and that's why, because yeah, if I had played, I'll give you my honest assessment, if I had played Omija and Sylvester, and I played Bandi and Abud, we get 10. That's the honest truth. Yeah, so I have to be realistic also, you know, so, but yeah, it's a learning curve, and hopefully one day we'll get there. But for this, no chance, Baba. No chance.
SPM Sports K.